There's a very interesting craze in the market today where OEMs are obsessed with giving us a larger display and a smaller form factor. They claim that this is what consumers want, and we've seen Huawei and Samsung work hard to give us a foldable tablet, smartphone, but we're still waiting for it. LG, on the other hand, launched the LG V50 ThinQ back at MWC, and even if it was exclusive only to Korea, they had an attachable case that allowed you to have an extended display whenever you wanted and a smartphone whenever you didn't. As it turns out, it seems that the approach worked. The company is launching version 2. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and I had an opportunity to play with the LG G8X ThinQ here at IFA 2019. First of all, disclaimer, according to LG, this is not final software, not final hardware. We should expect changes whenever we get our final review unit. Why the dual display? Well, according to LG, they sold 500,000 units of the V50, so that's proof to them that this is the most proven form factor according to their statement, which for me is rather interesting. Also, disclaimer, I was able to play with the V50 and the dual display before coming to IFA, so I have a little experience with the form factor. It's been rather interesting, though this new unit actually has some refinements. See, the LG G8X has a 6.4-inch OLED display, and the dual display on this one is an exact copy, meaning the same exact hardware on the side, all the way down to the notch design, sadly, even if only for cosmetic purposes. The whole idea is for both displays to age the same. Compared to the previous dual display, this one is lighter, thinner, consumes 10% less power, and is a larger display. The outer cover also has a 2.1-inch mini OLED to provide notifications at the same time. It is also now USB-C to help consume less power, and the case has an interesting pin adapter for charging in case you prefer wires, though wireless charging is supported. And yes, like its predecessor, it does open in 360 degrees for those of you who want to use it as a phone while still using the case. You'd assume that it consumes double the power, but LG claims that it only consumes 20% more of the phone's battery if used during a whole day, for example. LG gave us a couple of usage scenarios like extending the view of an application or using them separate for better multitasking, options for using one screen as a gaming pad that you can customize, or even use a full keyboard on one screen and your display on the other. Sadly, we were only shown some of these demos and I couldn't record these on camera. We weren't able to replicate them on our units. Obviously, we'll have to wait for the full review for that to be shown off. There are some neat tricks, like the 3-finger swipe to drag an application from one screen to another, or using one screen as a selfie flash for the other. Oh, and right, there is the LG G8X ThinQ. Don't think I forgot about it. It looks a lot like the G8 in a nutshell, but it does have some changes that are interesting. For example, the display is now only 1080p. Internals are similar. We have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, expandable, along with a 4000 mAh battery that supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 4, even if the adapter in the box is not compatible. It's also IP68 water and dust resistant, mil-spec 810G, and the cameras are 12 megapixels at f1.8 and 13 megapixels at f2.4 in the ultra-wide. We changed this mostly at the front, and both good and bad. Like the Z camera is now dead. Instead, we now have a smaller notch with a 32 megapixel camera that does pixel binning at 8 megapixels at 1.6 microns. We also have a traditional earpiece instead of a vibrating display, and the dual firing speakers are actually now balanced at 1.2 watts each. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a headphone jack, along with LG's 32-bit quad DAC. And to assist in having the whole dual display experience be better, there's actually an optical fingerprint scanner at the front instead of at the back to make it more practical. Another thing that changed, finally, is LG's user interface. If you join me in not liking it in the past, the improvements include updates to visual elements to make it more modern looking, and also the fact that navigation buttons were now moved to the bottom to improve one-handed use. Obviously, again, these are things that we will have to test to provide you more feedback. But yes, this is the LG G8X ThinQ. What do you think? Do you agree with the approach of having a dual display as a better solution to a foldable? In my case, I'll tell you this much. I like the idea of not having a display that can easily break for so much money. So It could be a good solution to have a modular display that you can use whenever you need to, detach whenever you don't. It might be good, but obviously we'll have to test it in the real world and tell you if it's actually delivering on its promise. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. And also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.